So I've been on Facebook Marketplace again. Welcome to Lured by the Listing, and this is my latest purchase, a G60 Patrol that's sat in someone's front yard as a lawn ornament for many years, and we're going to try and get it running and back on the road again. So yeah, let's have a bit of a look at it. So usually I would start in the boot when I look at a new vehicle, but this one doesn't have one. It also doesn't have a tray. In the pictures it had a tray. In real life it does not have a tray, so that was interesting. One thing I do notice though is look at the size of that diff. It is huge. There's the fuel tank. Surprisingly, all the tyres held air. I think they are split rims as well, so I don't know how I'm going to go getting tyres for it, but yeah, it's a cool looking rig. I'll come around to the front. It's got the Nissan Patrol badging, which is interesting because everything else in the dealership would have been badged as a Datsun when this was new, but they decided to put the Nissan badge on this. Got a little bit of paddock bashing damage down here. This bull bar is definitely, or if you call it a bull bar, I think it's just a steel bumper. It's definitely taken a couple of hits, as is up here. What else have we got? 3 windscreen wipers. It's an interesting one. I've heard that makes it some sort of special edition, but I don't know if that's true or not. It is 4-wheel drive as well. Got these little flaps here. You can open them up from inside and it blows air on your feet. I guess that's the equivalent of air conditioning. What else did I notice on this thing? We've got a side step on this side. It's different to the one on the other side. And a side exit exhaust, which apparently that is factory. So yeah, that's an interesting one. What else have we got happening with this guy? Open it up. Interior's in a little bit rough shape. Nothing too shocking. We've got typical windy windows. Let's have a look at the dash here. What have we got? 63,000 kilometers apparently, and some Tarzan looking fonts on there. The fonts on the dials on this thing crack me up. What were they thinking? Why did they design it like that? Got a vacuum gauge. This one is of course a petrol, 3-speed. I think synchro second and third, but first is not. What else is interesting as well, so it's obviously 4-wheel drive, so it's got a transfer case, but low and high ranges on one lever, and then 4 and 2-wheel drivers on another. So haven't seen that before. And yeah, got a handbrake down there. What does this say? Yeah, G60H, eh? Oh, it's even got like, there you go, look at this. Now they don't want you to touch your car. Before they put a plate in this one. Well, I should say now they don't want you to work on your car at all, but in this one they tell you how many litres of each fluid that it takes. Rear axle 2 litres. Yeah, right. Also got some instructions down here. I like how just the heater core is just down there on its own, chilling out. Then we've got some sort of, I suppose that would be the speaker for the stereo. Oh, I hope that works. It won't work. And then the other thing I noticed is the starter motor is down here, so obviously that's the reason why it was stopped. But the other thing I noticed, it's got a hand crank. You can start this puppy with this, so we'll have to have a go at that, I guess, because the starter motor's not on it. It's also had some repairs done to the floor, but they did seem to miss a bit, so we'll probably have to do something about that. At least it's very square. Like, I don't think that will be too bad to... that still moves as well, which is fantastic. I won't try and find out if we got brakes. Nah, let's just do it. Yep, no, that does nothing. That springs back. It doesn't feel like it's doing anything, but it does spring back, so that's good, I guess. Have a look what's under here then. Well, there's that. Yep. Got. Looks to be reasonably complete, other than obviously it's missing the starter motor, but we already knew about that. What do we got in here? No, it's not. There's no coolant in it, but it's like damp, which is a good sign. So that might hold something, probably not. Cartridge oil filter, which I think is pretty interesting. Most like old cars, in my experience anyway, have been spin-ons. We'll see if she's got. Yep. Black is the ace of spades, but it's there, so that's probably a little overdue for a change. I pulled the accelerator, so this carb should move. Look at this little dodgy connection here, that's good. Yeah, that moves. Off to a good start there. There's not really any emission stuff to worry about on this one. But yeah, first we should check if it turns over, and then I guess if we can turn it over by hand, we'll probably tape that up and put a battery in it and see if it's got spark. Turns over. So what I'm going to do before I dig too deep into this thing is just this cable that would normally go to the starter motor, like the main power cable. I'm just going to tape that guy up just because that will actually go live if for whatever reason this thing starts, which I think is pretty optimistic. Oh yeah, you can see it there. So that would just be an eyelet normally. That would just be an eyelet that would go into the starter motor. So yeah, all right. Well, let's suss out where the battery goes and put one in it. All right. Well, I did locate where the battery goes. It goes in here. Get that out of the way. All right. We'll just have a bit of a look before we go any further. Just make sure nothing's melting or. Oh, I forgot about this thing. That didn't feel very good. Nothing's like smoking or burning or just randomly disconnected. Don't worry about that. Obviously we don't need it. Okay, I think terminals aren't getting hot, so I think I'll leave that open for quick access. I think we're okay. All right, let's have a look in here. Get in this gross thing. Do you have any like reds? No. Nope. Any radio? How do you drive this? Oh, that's not how that's meant to work. Anyway, we'll have to. Why did I do that? I thought it might like pull on or something. Nope, that's not working. Is there any like signs of life in here? We got no. What if I turn the headlights on? Come on, give us headlights. Nope. Okay. This is not the reaction that I was hoping for. I was hoping like something would put it on the first setting. How about that? It's not going to give us anything. No. Is it possible that they just don't work? Yes. No ticking. Okay, confusing. Confucius. I've got the terminals on the right way. That is definitely the negative. That's definitely the positive. It's got a blown fuse or something, maybe. I don't know. Do we just see if it's got spark anyway? I guess so. Alright, I'm just gonna have a little tinker around with this guy and just see if where we do have power, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll start with just checking that this battery actually has charge in it, but it was cranking the crown pretty endlessly for however long. So battery cables are connected. Alright, I'll turn the ignition back on. I'll grab you guys a bit closer so you can see what's happening, and we'll see if we've got power at the coil. It's just interesting. I've got no reds. That's going to be a good earth. Are you going to be a good earth? I hope so. No power there, or no earth, one of the two. Let's it's gonna be a bit of earth. We'll try this guy. Okay. Alright, maybe this ignition switch is no good. Let's investigate that. So I found our first problem. I just going to undo this to pull this ignition out. This key out of here, which means I can't pull the ignition barrel out. Alright, well I've managed to get the key out, so let's just see if we got power there. There's no power to the ignition switch. So we're not even getting that far. Dead as a doornail. So the problem is not here, the problem is further along, which is concerning. Well, I think I've worked out what's going on with this, and as you can see, I decided that this thing didn't have enough risk of catching fire. I decided to increase it significantly. Now that main battery cable just goes to the starter motor, so I imagine it gets the rest of the car gets its power from the back of the starter motor, and the reason it has no power is because it's got no starter motor on it. So I've just put that in there temporarily for now. I'll obviously wrap it with electrical tape and then forget about it forever if it works. No, that's a lie, because I'm going to put a starter motor in it. But let's just try reconnect this battery again. Now these old cars make me so nervous when you have to connect the battery, because they're just like, it's not getting hot. All right, let's see. I'll just leave this open so I can do an emergency disconnect. Oh, I can hear a noise. Oh, it's electric fuel pump. I have to disconnect that. You can't be having that running. All right, but we have got some sort of power now. So, yeah, I'll just have to disconnect that pump and then we'll go from there. Under here with all the spideys. So that green wire just goes to the body of the car. Hang on, I'll show you better. That green wire just goes to the body of the car up there. So I'm just going to disconnect this guy, and that will just turn this guy off for a bit, just until we want him. Then we'll connect him back up when we want him. But judging by that fuel filter, I don't think we're going to want him for a little bit. So I'll just disconnect you and put this back on here. Right. Okay, now back into it. Alright, well this one's going to be probably a little bit of a tricky one because I have to hand crank it. But anyway, we're going to see if we got spark. Well, I don't think we've got spark. Let me just check we've still got power to the coil. Should we do? Alright. Alright, I'm going to start to look into this no spark issue. That is reading 10 volts, but I think it's just the connection because I was getting more before, but it'll be good enough just for this. So when I turn the motor over, that should cycle if the points are opening and closing. So watch for that as I hand crank the motor, which it's not happening. So I think these points might need a clean. All right, we're going to try and open up the distributor to see what these points are doing. All right, I'm going to turn the ignition on. If that lights up, and then if it cycles, guys, lit up. All right, let's try. Turn it up. Still no good. Okay. Gonna have to look a little bit further into this. Something else is going on here. Should be some zapping going on in here. Okay, alright. Alright, well what I just established is I didn't have 12 volts at this guy here. I do now because I realised that this, there goes my screwdriver, this connection up here just didn't have a very good connection, so I wiggled that round a bit. Pop that back on there. Voltage here now. Yeah, see that? When I short these together, that goes in and out, and that's simulating the points closing. So now, if I go turn the motor over again, which hopefully you guys can see that, I'm just going to spin it over, that should cycle. Unless I need to adjust the gap, which will be the next thing. Alright, so we're just going to adjust this so the points are touching. I'm waiting for someone in the comments to start banging on about points, gap and everything else. Maybe it's because the points are closed. Hang on, let's just try to start it over. Oh, that is what should happen. You guys seeing this? Oh, the hand crank is killing me, but anyway. What is going on? Alright, well, let's have another look at our sparkulator meter. If you guys can see that. Turn the ignition back on and we'll crank on her. We will crank her. How good are starter motors? I think next time I buy a car, I'm going to buy one with a starter motor. Alright, I'm going to have to check the footage for that one. Oh, I think getting this thing started is going to be a bit of a pig. Turn the ignition back off. Alright, well, we've got spark. So the only thing really left is to put some fuel in it and crank this puppy up. Literally crank it up. Alright, so I filled the bowl. I actually added some valve saver fluid as well. I don't know if that's going to help or not, but I had it there, so I thought I may as well. Turn the ignition on. I'm going to try and hand crank it over. Hopefully it doesn't break my arm, I guess. I hear these things are quite dangerous, so I've never actually done this before. So I mean, it looks like it should just slip out, but alright. Just check we've still got power here. No? Oh yeah, that's just because the points are closed. We'll get rid of that. Put this back together. Yeah, I'm sure you guys got a fantastic view of that, but that's alright, it's not important. Alright. Let's see if something's going to happen. I'll try to pull the choke. I'm going to need to be a lot fitter for this, I think. just gonna need a starter motor, I think. I do not have the fitness level to hand crank this car. Whew. Yeah, right, what's this, like a dyno for the starter motor? Fair enough. Anyway, we've got this thing from the parts store. It looks like it's from Temu, but hopefully, oh wow, she's a big puppy. Hopefully this should crank her over, and then yeah, hopefully we can get her started. Well, it's on there, but I just noticed that this, I'll zoom in for you, that terminal is not the same as that one. Now the laziness in me wants to just put it through that screw, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it properly and connect it up properly. Okay, well, starter motor's on, so I didn't bring my bomb detonator, it's still on the crown, so I guess we're going to just flick the key and see what happens. Hopefully it turns over for a start with the starter motor, but hopefully it just starts. We'll see how we go. Alright, we're in neutral. Whoa. I might have to put the battery booster on that, but it is cranking. I'll grab the battery booster. Rain again. Anyway, we'll put some fuel straight into that. Get some in the bowl. Should probably do. Probably way too much. Anyway. Alright, see if something's gonna happen. Okay. I guess we go back to, do we have spark, or do I just put more fuel down it and see what happens? I just don't like the sound of that gallop. Should still fire, unless this is like creating a serious vacuum leak. Maybe, I don't know, I can feel vacuum, but I just cleaned up the terminals on the coil. I think the connections there are a bit average, so we'll see if that's made any difference. It feels better. Oh, don't like that. It wants to start. It's shooting rust out of the bonnet. Way too much. See how that goes. Come on, baby. Let's go. What is going on with you? I'll put that there. And now when I turn the key, let's check it. I turn the key, that happens, that's not real good. There's no spark there. Now, anyway, I had this other spark plug laying around. It's not the right one, but it's good enough for this little experiment. Now, if I put this guy down, you can clearly see it sparking. So maybe these spark plugs are just like dead. So maybe we should just throw a set of plugs in it and see what happens, I guess. Oh, I realised that first take you couldn't actually see, so I'm going to try and hold this on a very obvious angle, like that, and then I'll crank it. See if you guys can see that, hey? Turn the ignition on, I guess. Yep, she's on. Do we have over here? Why not? Why don't we have that? Oh, she's gonna run now. I'm on the money. I fixated on it, I think. Oh yeah, baby. She is gonna fuck it. Oh, hang on, YouTube. She is gonna bloody run, and it's gonna be bloody brilliant. All right, is that better? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is going to be a running engine very shortly. Hang on, let me just turn this light back on. Oh, I won't. Oh, sorry, that camera, exhaust camera's out of action. I'm sorry, because I don't have light for it. Put you on. You can go up here. You can, oh, hang on, no, don't turn off. What the hell? Turn back on. Stop turning off. Are you recording again? Yes, yes. All right, I'll put you there. I don't know. All right, come on. Let's go. Let's run. A little bit more fuel. Come on. Yes, it's a runner. It is a mother runner. Let's go. Whoa. Not a very good runner, but it is a runner. All right. Can we get it to idle? Is that going to be too much to ask? A little bit of idling? Is that going to be like something that's achievable? Here, come over here. Best thing about old cars is everything's made of metal, and then your torch sticks to everything. Right, can we get some idling action out of this thing? Can we get idling? Choke out a little bit. I think this carby's cooked, so we're gonna have to get on the hunt for a rebuild kit, but we're gonna have to come up with something, but anyway, that's enough for tonight. Hey! Well, I don't have a rebuild kit, so I'm going to pull this guy apart and see if I can clean it up and get it to at least idle so we can see if the engine's okay. Look at this mess of a throttle cable I've got to untangle. I have to find something else to sort that out, I think. Alright, well it's off, so we'll dig into it and see what we find. I dare say a lot of corrosion, I reckon, but yeah. Doesn't look real good in there anyway, but I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that. Well, I think I've worked out why it's not flowing. I just pulled the float out of there, and it is so full of this junk. So I'm going to do my best to clean it out for now until we get the carb kit. Okay, well I've got it all back together. I managed to free up the float, unstick the needle, free up the jet so it does get fuel. Let's see what it does, I guess. No, it's better than nothing, I guess. I think for now I just need to temporarily get fuel up to it so I can keep going without having to refill the bowl with a syringe. It's in typical fashion. As soon as I want to work on a car, it decides it's gonna rain. So anyway, that's it for this weekend, I guess. We'll have a go next weekend. Well, it's at a point where it vaguely idles when you fill the bowl up. I mean, we'll be able to get it better once we get the carb rebuild kit, and I'll do it properly then. Plus it's got no accelerator pump, so that's not gonna help either. Not usually the way that I'd go about this, but I think like we should connect fuel up first, because it sucks the bowl dry so quickly. I can't really do anything with it without constantly refilling it. So I'm thinking, let's just see if we can get this electric fuel pump to shoot some fuel up to the front, and then I can probably stuff around in here. I did order the correct plugs for it, so we'll probably swap them over too. Check the alternators charging, change the oil. I do have an oil filter ready handy as well, so I just want to see it run for more than 30 seconds before we change the oil. And then we'll start looking at the rest of the headaches, like I don't think it's got a clutch or brakes. But yeah, I just need to get it moving. It can't stay here. I've only got very limited spots here, and having a dead car in it, really my biggest priority is getting it just to the point where I can move it. So let's go down that track. Typical, as soon as I start working on it, it starts to rain again, but I'm going to be a little bit delusional here and see if we can get away with having a look at this tank and seeing what condition everything's in. I probably should unhook these, shouldn't I? Yeah, okay, there's something in there. I don't know what it is. I wasn't expecting there to be something in there. Let me grab you guys and see if you can have a look. Oh, it's just sort of full of junk. Alright, I think we're gonna have to run a temporary tank to get it. Anyway, we'll come back to this. Okay, just to flush out this line, I've got our temporary fuel tank down here. I just left the old filter on there for now. And on this side, I've still got it disconnected. I've just got it running to our fuel safe bottle here. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna run it for a little bit, just make sure these lines are cleared out, and then we'll connect it up. Okay, well, we can't get fuel out of this side, and I think this pipe, which I just disconnected here, is blocked. So we're gonna see if we can at least get fuel to here, and then go from there. Oh, yep. We got flow there. I'll let that run through a little bit, just until it clears up. Okay, well at least the problem's not under the car. Not that that would have been that bad, but this guy is no good. Well, I've got it run very poorly and very temporary over to the carb for now. We will clean out that hard line because I don't really like the idea of a rubber line running over what's probably one of the warmest parts of the engine, but yeah, that will temporarily connect it. So we'll see if we can get it to run all right now. The advantage of the electric fuel pump is we can actually sort of check it for leaks before we start the engine. So I'm just going to do that. So that's running, so that should be filling up with fuel, which it is. Now let's see if this is pissing out. Huh? It looks like it's working. All right. I don't know. Do we just try and start it? I guess. Oh no, nope. It's overflowing. Okay, we got issues. I'll just pop the top off the carb again, and I thought I can probably give you guys an idea of how this works. So this floats around in here, and it pushes on a little needle in there which blocks this off when it comes up to the right level. So if I turn the fuel pump back on, I think it is running down there, and I push this float down. Oh. I don't know. Maybe not. Alright, I should be able to give you guys an idea of how this works now. So I'm going to turn this pump back on, and it's going to start filling this up with fuel, as you can see, and it's trickling in. And then when it fills it up to the point where that float starts to float, it will lever that up and push that in, and that will stop the fuel flow in. I think this pump's like sort of in and out. And I also don't think it's the right sort of pump for this. Usually they like tick and tack, but anyway. I'm beginning to think I might need to take the rocker cover off this and see if there's valves that are stuck or something, because this is not like banging out the intake and exhaust is not fantastic. Well, I decided before I went any further I'd put the correct plugs in, and just from looking at these, some of them, these are in the order of the cylinders, some of them look like they've been doing something, but then other ones like this one, they don't really look like they've been igniting anything. So I'm going to pull the rocker cover off and check for any valves that may be stuck open. I think that could be something to do with it. Oh, alarm bells are ringing because I just pulled that PCV hose off and that is in there. So who knows what we're going to find in here, but maybe I should have jumped to this a little earlier. Alright, we're going to extreme measures, and I don't normally like doing this because I don't really like to know how much compression I've got. I don't know, it makes it real, if that makes sense. Like, you might be suspect that your car has low compression, but if you just don't test it, then you don't know. But this thing will only really run on 3 cylinders, and I've checked the firing order, I looked at the valves. I think this is the next step, unfortunately, but I don't really like it. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a lead here, and I'm going to try my best to show you. I don't know how I'm going to film it, but I think I might have been going down the wrong path for a bit. I just actually put the timing light on it as opposed to trying to just do it by ear, which obviously I shouldn't have been doing. And the spark's a bit intermittent, so it does have spark, but it doesn't always have spark. All right, I'm going to turn this light off, and then I'm going to put the timing light on. Here you go. You've seen one of these before. and we'll see if I can show you what's going on. Hang on. I'm holding this on. We're having big sections where there's no spark. I was holding that on the whole time, as you can see by the light on it. I'll try to start it again. This should be flashing like that. I'm holding it on right now. Okay. All right, well that's definitely a way that we need to go down. You guys will not believe what just happened. The radio's just come on. I know you can't see, but it's tuned into a station and it's come on. Blown a coolant leak. That did not take long. Got it running properly for 3 seconds and now it's leaking coolant. But anyway, it is a Nissan. Oh, I panicked because initially I thought it was fuel because of the electric pump having more pressure, and I thought, uh-oh, that is going to be like a big fire, but no, it was just coolant. That's all right. That's the best thing to leak. Oh, I don't know, either that or oil. No, probably coolant. Mind a bit of coolant leaks. That's all right. Anyway, I think I'm going to wait till it's light again and then we will keep going with this nugget. But yeah, pretty happy with that result finally. Well, now it runs good enough, or as good as it's going to with the carb the way it is. The next step to getting it to move is getting the clutch to work. Now, the previous owner told me, even when they did have it working, however many years ago that was, before it was a lawn ornament, when they were driving around the farm, it had no clutch and no brake then. So I think we're just going to skip to getting all the hydraulics rebuilt on it, and we'll see how we go. Really, I should be pulling all the brakes apart and doing them at the same time, but I'd much prefer to do them inside the workshop out of the sun. So I'm just going to do the clutch stuff for now, just to get it rolling, and then once it's rolling I should be able to get it inside and we can have a much better crack at it out of the elements. I think just because I can just tell looking at this front wheel it's going to be a nightmare to pull the brakes apart. The other thing I might do with it out here, if I feel like it, is changing the oil before we go too much further as well, but we'll see how we go. We'll start with the clutch. Just to keep you guys up to date with what's happening. So I've undone all those bolts there and the 2 nuts. I had to give that a little love tap to free it up, and then on this side I just had to undo the little, let's see if I can show you, pin there to free it up. So now this guy should just come out, hopefully, in theory. Maybe not. Okay, well that's the clutch master cylinder off. There you go, Japanese. As you can see, it's not doing much because that reservoir's got fluid in it. But pumping that in and out is not pumping the fluid. So anyway, yeah, that's toast. All right, now to pull the slave off. Just thought I'd show you guys what's in this thing. Look at that. That's never gonna work ever again like that. That needs to be fully rebuilt. All right, now we're just gonna attack this guy. So I just gotta take him off. Yeah, we're gonna pull that off and get him rebuilt, do the same thing, and yeah, new rubber line as well. So then hopefully everything in here is gonna be all right. And yeah, we'll go from there. And here's the slave cylinder. It does have a rubber boot there. That was never going to work like that. I'm glad we didn't bother even trying. But anyway, we'll send them off to get rebuilt, and yeah, hopefully it just works. Well, after struggling with it for way too long, it doesn't fit because that is significantly longer than that, which I actually gave him the sample to match it up with, so I don't really understand. But anyway, not going on. Well, we've made a contraption using both the old end and the new master cylinder, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, we've got the new slave cylinder on. Do you want to press the pedal there? Oh yeah, it looks to be working too. How about that? Okay, well as you probably noticed, it's raining again, like every time I try and work on this car, but I've just been pushing through it anyway because I need to get it to a point where I can get it inside. The other thing you might notice is Mr. Stromberg over there is on the ground. Me and Mr. Stromberg are not friends anymore. I didn't really have a great time, so I've decided to do the right thing and just replace him, and that, yeah, it's inside it was just absolutely hammered, so rebuild's out of the question. But turns out it's actually got the same carb on it as I believe HJ Holden, so getting a new one wasn't too bad of a thing. So anyway, now that's on there, let's see if she's going to run a little bit better, and then we'll see if she'll drive. Let's try that. Oh. Needs a bit of a tune. We're doing way better than we were. In even better news, I had the booster on in case I needed it, but it turns out I didn't. But the alternator's charging. Wow. And on that thought, I had a bit of a click about what this little guy is. It's the regulator for the alternator. So I don't know why I didn't think of that before, but answered my own question. But yeah, right, she is charging. Okay, well I guess it's time to try and drive this puppy. I set up probably the most dangerous fuel system ever. So that's just a fuel tank sitting on top of the battery. So when the battery sparks, it just sets the fuel on fire with me sitting in here. So that's good. Anyway, we're gonna try and drive it. I can't really accelerate too much at the moment. I need to tune it up a little bit, but I just want to get it out of the rain. So yeah, let's have a go. Now I gotta be super careful if it does move, because the one thing that doesn't work, say one thing, it's more than one thing, but one of the things that doesn't work is the brakes. So we'll see how that goes. Right, how do you turn this radio off? Yeah, right. Oh, all right, let's try that again. Oh, quiet. We might have to go for low range if we can get it. Maybe not. 2-wheel drive, handbrake off, first gear. I need to get this engine running a little bit better first. Oh, we tried. Well, it's inside the shop. With it only be able to idle it and just how much rolling resistance it's had to the point where it wouldn't even roll away down the hill. I had to put it in low range 4-wheel drive just to get it to move. But yeah, it's in. Also forgot about our coolant leak from earlier, so that's still there, which is good. But anyway, yeah, it's sort of first drive, I guess. Well, it's actually managed to limp itself onto the 4-post hoist, which is pretty impressive considering I can't actually accelerate and it won't even move in high range. But anyway, I'm thinking it's proven a little bit trickier than I thought to get it running right. So I'm thinking we should probably change the oil before we go any further so I don't risk damaging the engine while trying to get it to run all right. So we'll do that. It's always interesting to see what comes out anyway, because it probably hasn't had an oil change since 1987. So, I mean, it was last registered in 1986. So probably 1986, I reckon. Do people change the oil on their farm, do people change the oil on their yard ornaments? Do you? Here's a question for the comments. If you have a car that's like a lawn ornament, do you change the oil in it? I want to know. Let me know down below. Anyway, let's dig straight into changing the oil on it. What's interesting about it, it's got a cartridge oil filter, which I think's, yeah. Anyway, all right, get into it and change it. The engine is not as wet as you'd think it would be. Oh, rear main area, actually, that's a bit, how you going? But anyway, it's more just mud. The mud will hold the oil in, I'm sure. Oh, no, I lied, it's leaking all the way along there as well. Anyway, it is what it is. That's the way that it's gonna be. It's got this just built up all over it. I like how on this you can actually change the oils in the diff. That's good. Oh, yeah. I wonder if that's not leaking because there's no oil in it, or if it's not leaking because it's actually not leaking. But man, this thing needs a gurney. Oh yeah, there's the fuel tank and the battery and the little electric pump under there, and I suppose you guys can have a better look at this thing now as well. But apparently it works. Fuel tank, which has got a little drain on it there, so we'll have a go at that, I guess. And this is pretty funny actually. It's got the biggest diff in it. Like, I don't know if it's a H230 or H233 or H260, but it is massive. But then it's got the dickiest little tiny drive shaft connected to it. But anyway, and we can just look through straight at the roof. All right, this has not had an oil change in a long time. Hopefully you can still see after I just moved that. Anyway, come on, get off. There we go. All right, redirect you over here. Let's see. Yep, you can still see what's going on. Let's make a big mess. Yeah, she's running. That's like water. See if this is even actually petrol. Oh. Hello? Any moisture in there? Are you just blocked? Is this not actually the drain? I swear when we looked in there before there was stuff in there. Dude. Okay. I guess it is dry. I thought there was something in there. Anyway. Oh. Maybe we'll just put some fuel in it anyway. Why not? What could possibly go wrong? Answer? Heaps. Heaps could go wrong. Maybe we'll just worry about getting it running right first. Actually, before that, let's just worry about putting some oil and a new filter in it. It's pretty weird. I've never seen that before, but anyway. Where's my rag? Yeah, this is going to make a huge mess, I'm sure. Yep. I knew I should have put something under that. Anyway. What was that that just fell out of spring? I need to keep that, I'd imagine. I should have known better than to do that. I sort of knew that was going to happen. Anyway, live and you learn. Oh, it's made a huge mess. Anyway. Alright, where's this O-ring go? This thing maybe? Oh, you're kidding. This is just making the biggest mess. Where does the O-ring go though? It must go in there. That's it. There you are. Get a tool to get you out of there, I guess. Yeah, okay, that's new. Why is it making that noise? I wonder if that camera will pick that up. It's definitely not leaking under here. No, it's just making weird noises. Not actually leaking though. I'm just going to turn it over for a bit without the ignition on, just to build a little bit of oil pressure before we start it. So I feel like that's the right thing to do when it hasn't had an oil change in 300,000 years. So we'll just do that quickly. Just do it while I'm watching this thing for leaking as well. Oh, that is so annoying. I've got to fix that. But anyway. Come on, let's go. go ignition on. Seems to be okay. I mean, the engine doesn't seem to be okay, but the it's not leaking. See if this thing's reading any oil pressure. Still making some weird noises, but anyway. Let's have a look at this guy. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. There's no oil on that. Why is it like that? Let's try again. I'm going to let it sit for longer. Now we're getting a reading. Alright. Oil's taking a long time to drain back to the sump, but anyway. It's concerning. Well, this thing's fighting me to the very end. It does not want to run right, so I'm going to replace a couple of the ignition components that I think are a little suspect, and we'll see if that makes any difference. Everything I've sort of tested seems to be okay, but like, it seems to, when you rev it, it loses spark until it comes back down, and that's why it's just running like a bag of balls. I'll just show you how you guys can check these points are working. If you just get it right on the edge of the cam there, and you twist this, just right on the edge of its opening. See if you guys can see. So a little sparking as the points break the circuit. Well, now that we've changed the coil, which I don't think that did anything, but changing the points seems to have done something. Now we're not getting fuel again, so let's chase down that path. I think this electric pump is questionable. There is fuel in there, but what the hell, man? understand. What a painful thing. Why is it so hard? Okay. Now, before we go any further, I guess we want to put you back on. Well, there you go. Finally running all right. All because of this little guy here. I should have tested that earlier. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, they are actually common to fail, and the symptoms that it was having made perfect sense for this to be the culprit. So it was textbook condenser issues. But anyway, at least we know the ignition system is pretty fresh now. So I think the next step really is I need to sort out this fuel bottle tank situation so we can roll it backwards and forwards better. And then probably start looking at the brakes and everything else like that. So yeah, all right, let's dig into this fuel tank situation and see what we can do there. Well, the one thing about not having a tray is it's a lot easier to get access to this tank. All right, let's just see if we can blow through this vent hole here. Yeah, that's clear. Why is there fuel in it? You guys seeing this? I swear we drained this thing. When I say fuel, I think it's more rust water. Alright, I've got the Junk Sucker 3000 hooked up to the fuel tank. Got a bit of clear line here, so you should be able to see what's going on. Hopefully we can suck most of this out, and I'll splash it with a bit more petrol, suck it out again, and then yeah, hopefully it's good enough that it can run the car for a bit and block up all the fuel filters and do everything else. But anyway, yeah. Pressure. Oh, a little bit more pressure, I think. There you go. Turn it up a little bit. Don't want to go too hard on it. Okay, well that stopped sucking through, so we'll try to put some fuel in it. I'm just wondering, how the hell do you refuel this thing when it's actually got a tray on it? Like, look where the filler is. And I'm thinking this other rubber line here is obviously meant to go to here. So, yeah, that's interesting. That's just exposed, which is probably why it's just full of junk and water and condensation and everything. But let's put some petrol in it anyway, see what happens. Can you get it from... How do you put petrol in this thing? I guess like that. Sorry, you probably can't see what's going on, but I'll give you an idea. Anyway, let that soak for a little bit. And then we'll suck it out again and pretend that it's going to be fine when it's not. Building pressure, pulling fluid through. Oh, got the new fuel line on up here. We've got another filter going on here. Let's set this up so you can see. Got another fuel filter there, just pre-pump. We got fuel into here yet. Looks like we do. It actually looks pretty clean at the moment as well. Alright, I'd say this fuel thing's not working. I should have looked closer at this tank. It's leaking out the side and the back anyway. So yeah, new fuel tank required regardless, unfortunately. Well, temporary solution sorted until we can get a fuel tank. I'll just put a boat tank in there, at least we'll be able to move it in and out of the shop. Yeah, but that'll do for now. I know this is a bad idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. No way. Oh, yeah. Look at this little guy in here. I'll show you. And a little mate in there. I don't know what he is, but I'm sure he'll probably kill you. Or her. It's probably a her. Anyway. Man, what a beast of a bug, eh? Look, we got a different flavoured one in this one. There he is, Huntsman. They're actually probably less dangerous, but I'm not really the biggest fan of spiders. Oh no, we got a Huntsman. We got him, and a little black guy. Be careful what I say, I guess, but. Fight the whole way off. Anyway, What do we got in here? Interesting. I might still be able to reuse that, maybe. Probably not. And the shoes have got heaps on them. The shoes still like new. Probably reuse them, honestly. We'll just change the wheel cylinders and leave the rest of the brakes. Why not? Maybe get some new drums after I've absolutely munched these. But anyway, I don't think they've been off in a very long time. Thank you. So this, you're off on 1, 2, 2. Sorry. Got the brakes fully apart. A lot further than I wanted to. I'm just going to send this whole thing off. So you can try and separate that at the brake place, I think. I was hoping, I mean I could do it in the rear, but I was hoping in the front so I could just take the wheel cylinder out and then put it back together and roll it out, but that is not the case because of the setup and because it's got 2 wheel cylinders per side on the front. So fantastic, I guess. Interesting. I've never, like, I knew about these systems, but I've never actually worked on one before. So yeah, whoa. So the brake line comes off and then it splits into 2 and then both wheel cylinders. So yeah, interesting one. The drums are actually different front to back as well. So yeah, the back ones use shims. I did actually miss recording the rest of pulling those back ones apart. Sorry, I'm very tired. Yeah, anyway, I guess we'll pull the rear brake rubber out and then we'll attack the master cylinder. Get a good angle on this guy. Stay there. There we go. There's an angle of it. Alright, don't do that. I'm gonna have to do the underside. Alright, now I'll turn you off for a second there. Well, it turns out it's not just the wheel bearing that has excessive movement in it. I don't know how well you'll see that there. Oh. That's the kingpin bearings. So I guess we're going to dig into that on this side. Well, look at the state that this is in. It's making me think I should probably do the other side as well. These bearings absolutely has it. As you can see, it's actually missing one of the rollers there too. I'll point it down here. As you can see, it's actually missing one of the rollers there as well. That one's had water ingress in it. New wheel cylinders in. So that's the front end done. You may be wondering why the whole car's back on the ground. It's because those rear wheel cylinders had to be rebuilt and sleeved, so they're off getting that done at the moment. And this shop actually, believe it or not, needs this hoist, so I'm gonna have to take it off for now until we've got them. But what I'm thinking, let's just tackle the master cylinder and see if we can get some front breakage happening, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll dig into that. All right, well, this is the new master cylinder. I've been let know by the supplier that the rear and front are actually going to be the other way around, but they've assured me that that is fine. So we're going to take their word and just put it on for them, and then we're going to try and bleed up the front rears, the rears, and then yeah, hopefully get some front brakes working for now anyway, just so I don't have another incident rolling it out onto the street. So we'll put this in like that. Well, it turns out having some random block line in the middle of the system does actually hinder the system's performance. Well, jump into this guy. Now, obviously the pedal's not going to be fantastic because half the system's not connected, but let's just see if we've got any pedal at all. No. All right, keep going. Well, with a little bit of off-camera help, a couple of things have been done off camera. We rebuilt the other swivel hub on the other side, which you guys didn't need to see because you saw me mangle this side anyway. The rear wheel cylinders are in, so they came back, they've been re-sleeved, they're in. We've bled the brakes. It does have a brake pedal now, so we'll see if it actually stops when we try and take it for a drive very shortly. But one thing I just want to do first is just change all the driveline oils, because who knows, I mean, when we pulled the axle seal out, no oil came out, so I dare say there's no, I mean, when I say pull the axle seal out, there really wasn't one in there, but there was also no oil in there either, so we'll see what comes out of the front and rear diffs. And yeah, as you can see, it's got some new rubber on it. It's the closest thing I could get to the original size. I'm not super happy with how it looks, but this is the only thing that you can really get. Like, you can't really get tyres that look appropriate for it, not that I could find anyway, and not in the original size. And the only thing I could get in exactly the original size was light truck tyres, like you'd see steer tyres, which is obviously not going to look right on it. So these are at least mud tyres, and even though they're a metric version of the same size, like when you put them next to each other, the rolling diameter is exactly the same. So they should be pretty good. I'll cut in, I had a bit of help from, I've never done split rims before, so I had called in a bit of help, so I'll cut in a bit of footage of him helping me out with one of the split rims, and you guys can see how that works. Take it with a grain of salt how he did it. I don't know if the way that he did it is the correct way from watching him. Probably not, but he did do it, and he helped me out, so I appreciate that. Thanks, Timmy. Yeah, anyway, let's change these oils and take this thing for a rip and see what it does, I guess. Spider's eggs in that. Yeah, good. Come on, get out. It's time to move out. Oh, there we go. Last, they wouldn't even last if you serviced it properly. I'll get this out of the way for now. Well, you can't probably see very well. That was interesting. That one wasn't even tight. Oh, no. Anyways. I should have predicted that. I should have had this thing up way higher. Anyway. Oh well. I mean, that's going to be well lubed forever now. But anyways. Always start with popping off the filler, which it's not that. Let me get a longer ratchet. Let's see how we go now. Just gonna get out of the way for a second. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it just smells like diff oil, I guess. Let's see. Oh. Oh, yeah, there's oil in there. It's actually not that bad. All right. Not what I was expecting, but anyway. Need a bigger bar than that. I think I've been optimistic. Oh, this is the only other one I've got, so I know it's probably a bit over the top, but oh, there we go. Hit that out, so I'm probably gonna need that again. Don't do that. Oh. You know, that could be a lot worse. There really wasn't much in there, but that could have been a lot worse than that. I'll let that drain for a second. Nissans, eh? Now I'll let you in on a little secret. I actually am probably more of a Nissan and Datsun man than a Toyota man. But I have to be honest, Nissan seems to be fighting me a lot more. The Toyotas generally just go. So the next car is a Toyota, which is a bit of a relief, but I think there'll be another Datsun after that, depending on if what I want to happen happens. But yeah, there definitely is a Toyota sitting ready for me once this is done. I'm sure more will go wrong. I'll clean this up and get it ready to put back in. I wonder if when they design these things, if they ever thought that they would last this long. And if they thought some idiot would waste his spare time and all his money trying to put them back together. I wonder if they ever thought that. Probably not. I'd say they probably didn't think that. My favourite thing about this oil is that it's blue. There you go. Alright. I'll give this a little bit of a clean up before we put it in there as well. Doing some other stuff. I thought I would just have a look at these fuses. I've pulled this cover off. Headlamp. So we got power there, but no power there. So that fuse is blown. So we'll start with that, but I reckon it's most likely got a short. Alright, we've got our new fuse in there. So pull the lights. Oh. How about that? Do we have high beams? Let's see. I think it's going to be one of these guys down here. I can't really see. It's going to be one of these buttons, surely. That one's just stuck on. I think we're just stuck on high beam. But anyway, it's better than before. Alright. No, I just need to be worked a little bit. It is working. When I press this. On. Off. On. Oh, it's a bit jammed. Might need a bit of lube. There we go. Still possible. Well, there you go. It drives. It's probably the second most satisfying part of doing these is driving them. The first part is when you get the engine to start. That's my favorite bit. But yeah, when you actually get to take them for a drive up the street, it feels pretty good. The pinion seal in the rear diff leaks, and it's like a sprinkler. It sprays oil everywhere. So we're gonna have to tackle that. Yeah. All right. Let's dig into this. And then well, the other thing we'll do, we'll obviously have to start working on these lights. We need to get all these guys working for be able to drive it on the road. So we'll do that too. Well, let's dig into that. Sort of annoying about working on this car is you've got to excavate all the bolts. There's just layers and layers and layers of mud on everything. It's definitely spent a long time driving around a farm. Are you gonna not leak now? There you go. Oh well, let's just make sure you can see what's going on there. It doesn't look very good. Now, I'm no expert on this, but I don't think that bearing should be that loose. So, what we're going to do is ignore that. So any of these look like they're going to work. Oh yeah. I don't know if you'll be able to see that there, but that's got a pretty deep groove in it. So the chances of this sealing properly are pretty minimal. But I don't think I've got a choice. So We're going to just put it back in and pray. For an idea. Now I gotta put this guy back on. A certain way this is gonna go, yeah, maybe. Something like that, probably. That's pretty good now. Yeah, good. Hopefully that doesn't leak. It's probably gonna leak.
Right, you're gonna pump the brakes up.
Well, about to take this puppy on a bit of a trip. It's all ready to go. Got some new tail lights on there. I think this bar's probably going to hinder us off-road a little bit, but yeah, we'll see how she goes.
Come that way a touch more. Your front's going to drop in. Keep coming.
Oh, you should see the hole of it. See, I told you that side's easy.
Whoa! Just keep coming at that. And now come in. Front's gonna drop just a little bit. Come with that. Well, you need to be up on this rock, otherwise it's never going to go up. Alright, little... Oh yes, yes, yes. Alright, that way, that way, that way. You have to roll back. You're nearly there. If you roll back just a little bit, a smidge. Oh, I can just hit it from there hard. Yeah. And go that way. Once it goes, yeah. Yeah, stay into it. How good's that?
Time is very difficult.
This is the worst part of the truck.
It's because you're trying to rally back it through here.
Trying to keep up with the derby.
Another little bog hole. Nice and shallow. Hold on. Brace for impact.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
These old things do not get old.
Nah, I just love it. Oh man, I wouldn't want to scratch the paint. And here's it. Shit. I already knocked that one back out, and then you got three.
Oh, is he going to go through it? Surely he sends it. Two-wheel drive. Are you going to send it?
I think this one's pretty deep, man.
We'll end up hydrolocking it or something and then we'll be in trouble.
Yeah, then we'll have to skull drag it out.
Yeah. I didn't bring any tools, remember?
That's alright. You're up.
Close enough. Oh.
So are you paying for the chiropractic adjustment, or?
That's another expense.
Come in more. Left, 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 left. Yeah. Just come at that. You're falling in now, just. Stay on left a little bit. Stay left more. Straighten up. I think you hung up.
Thumbs out of the wheel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Just the roads are worse than the obstacles.
See if it'll go. Whoa! Down to your front diff. Maybe not.
Gonna drive on this.
Left.
You reckon left?
Yeah, left.
I was gonna be right. And the rust's coming out of this thing.
Oh, this thing's cool, man. The wheel speed, you're not going to be able to stop in time doing that. You get launched into the next step. Oh.
I don't know if I'm driving it or if it's driving me.
Bit of both.
Something's happening. Oh, I can smell all the automotive fluids.
Yeah. Fucking get that in there so the window stops. This thing isn't smelling so good.
No.
Is that steam or is it? No, it's the windscreen.
It's smelling hot.
It does.
And it's smelling like oil. It felt a bit average to begin with.
Yeah.
It feels more average now. I don't think we've actually damaged it.
I don't know.
I think it's damaged me more.
Yes.
Oh yeah, right, too late.
Too late. Oh. Oh dear. Yeah.
But try and go through this one.
Don't do it, you moron. Oh, I thought he was going to do it.
Should I do it?
If you want. I don't know. Let me test it.
Yeah, go test it.
Bets on how far he's going to make it. No way. No way. Back feels good after that one.
Did not go as smoothly as I thought it would.
Up a bit. Time for a good challenge now. Stay on that. Maybe try and bounce it a bit. Not loving it. You're ripping up tree roots. Time for some rock packing. You're gonna snap something. Wait. Wait. Stay up on it. Oh no, you dropped off. You need to come in this way more, towards me. You must have spun a bit.
Oh, I nearly snapped my fingers off.
Nah. Oh, the rock stepper's beaten. It's beaten us. $2.80 or $3?
Something like that. No, it was like $2.70 or $80 or something. It was 100. Was it? I got 70 litres. It was $197.
Still a rip off.
So yeah, whatever that works out to be, about $2.60 or something. I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't impressed.
No one is at the moment. You've got to send this into full drive 24/7, so that when they do their shed podcast things.
I should too, mate.
Can't wait to get back in a new car.
Yeah. I don't have any new cars.
Oh, 1990 is new.
Yeah.
I bet that Patrol feels like a cloud. I bet it's fun.
Yeah, no, the GQ, the Maverick ride's pretty good. The green one ride's terrible, but the Maverick, because I think the shocks are too long and they bottom me up.
Yeah.
It feels sort of like this, but the Maverick ride's mint.
Spring rates and shocks make a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Tyre pressures. It's had enough durability testing.
Yeah, it's quite durable.
Yeah.
It's more comfortable in this gear because it's not rubbing on the leg. But it's in second or third, it's like pushing it through your leg.
You wonder how some of these blokes drove these things back in the day, especially bigger blokes.
One of these was the first thing to go through, I think, the Sahara Desert. It was one of these.
Yeah. I think I've heard that somewhere too. Don't quote us on that.
Yeah, it's not.
If this makes the video.
For entertainment only.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, flex it up.
Sweet. Oh yeah, real. Oh yeah. Oh, this is bumpy as fuck, this one, hang on.
I should say that. That's how the truck used to go.
Yeah, there never used to be that other chicken part there.
We're gonna go in.
Loves it. What a tractor. Oh.
Oh, there's a big
Nah.
No.
I'm not pulling that out either, can't be
because
bothered.
that's not. Yeah, no way.
Don't need to puncture a radiator.
I would have, that stick wasn't there.
Oh yeah.
You can't go through the guts of that. Little windscreen will be off.
Yeah. Oh, it's nearly made it. Yeah.
It's just getting pretty deep.
This one is getting. Oh.
pretty rough as well. Oh, how good. Never
Very
GoPro
nice.
didn't get destroyed. How good's that?
Yeah. How good.
We made it back to the shop, surprisingly. It's pretty impressive because it was a decent drive there and back too. So just to pull this out of someone's front yard and then do that in it. I know some people are probably gonna be upset about how hard I was driving it, but it's a four-wheel drive. Like it's meant to do that. So anyway, let us know what you think of the video. Like, comment, subscribe. It really does help. So if you did like it, please do. And I'll give you a little sneak peek of what's coming up next. Little treat for making it all the way to the end. Shovel nose. I'm gonna start working on that now.